少し。
そうじゃないんだよ。確かに僕は直りのことが好きだった。初恋と言ってもいい。でも初恋は初恋なんだよ。僕はルミと付き合ってからずっとルミが好きだったんだ。
今さら何？私一度も純から好きって言われてない。
ごめん。ルミには伝わってると思って。
Love is Indivisible by Twins, episode 3, and man, I got. First off, I think this was the best episode of this show so far, and that's saying a lot because I think this is the underrated hidden gem of the season as it is, and I think episode 1 and 2 were really good. They both got me to feel a lot of feelings, a lot of emotion. And whenever, when I always tout this, and I always say it, when a show gives you an abundance of feelings, whatever that feeling is, like, it's doing something right. Even if it's hatred for a character, even if it's like disgust, like, as long as it's something that doesn't dissuade you from like enjoyment, but it's something that you're like, oh, I want to see this character die, or whatever the case is, like, that means it's doing something good. Now this episode, it got me, like, it got me. And I know it may come to a surprise for most, but more often than not, sadly, I tend to know when the episode's gonna end. Like, I'm pretty, like, I kind of watch the bottom graph, and I can see how long an episode has left and stuff. Like, I'm pretty usually I'm pretty much in the know about it. But there are the episodes that tend to happen week over week, like maybe like one, or mostly actually usually about one episode a week, maybe sometimes none, but one that just I feel so encapsulated and just like so like enthralled by that I'm just like, it ended? Oh my. You know what I mean? And I felt that this week because, like, at the end of the episode, we have the girl and she's like, 𝐤𝐤𝐸𝐸, I gotta tell you something. And then the episode just ended. I was like, oh shit, what do you gotta tell him? And I was like, the only thing she could really say is like, oh, I love you too, or something like that. But like, I was like, okay, what is she gonna tell? And then the episode ended. I was like, ah. I was like, son of a bitch, it got me. So anyways, this episode though, like, it was really, really good. And I think for the most part, I think the show is doing a really good job of showcasing young love. And young love is very, very confusing, especially young love and first love. And a lot of times there's a lot of big feelings involved with young love. And, you think, like, as you get older, you learn that some of these are like fleeting moments, and like some of these feelings, like, you're like, once you felt it once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, like, eventually you're very cautious, and you are in control more. Not everybody, but most get more in control of your feelings and use your brain more than your heart, kind of thing, to really kind of make sure that they're both aligned. But young love is just all heart. And a lot of times there's not a lot of thinking involved. And it totally makes sense because last week Rumi broke up with 𝐤𝐤𝐸𝐸, and 𝐤𝐤𝐸𝐸 ended up like, she was like, this freaking two-faced witch over here. I don't like Rumi very much still, but she was like, go date my sister, blah, 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 blah. And she gaslit the dude, and he had her in the back of his head. He's like, okay, the reality is like, okay, to make her happy, I should go and I should date her sister, right? So he's like, okay, to make June, like, to make Rumi happy, I should go and date her sister. So that's exactly what bro did. He went in and, he went in and he was like, okay, Naori, like, let's go out. And, because she has love for him, she ended up jumping on that opportunity. But he had never really, he didn't get a moment to really figure out his feelings. He didn't get a moment to go and try and get Rumi back. He didn't get a moment to really, like, basically get over the breakup, move on to the next thing, and then make a decision. He just kind of jumped straight into it, which is unfair for him. It's unfair for Rumi, and it's unfair for Naori. It's unfair for everybody involved in the thing. And that's where, like, okay, that's where I think, like, the show's doing a really good job of conveying young love, because a lot of times, like, this is how some things happen. Now, most folks don't have the opportunity to go through these things. Sometimes it's like you may not even find your first love or something. But, this is how things generally do end up happening. So I was like, man, I really love that, like, quite a bit. And because he hadn't really fully vetted out his feelings for Ryumi, they're still there, and he's still thinking about her, and he still cares. And Naori's not stupid. She can see that, and that's affecting her. And in the episode, I mean, I think we knew, but in the episode, it's solidified, and all parties involved find out that, June, his first crush, his first love was Naori, but that changed. He is like, it's a kid crush kind of thing, you know what I mean? But that changed once Ryumi asked him out, and he like fell in love with her, although she's not my favorite. I think Naori's better, but the heart wants what it wants, and that is what it is. And he fell in love with her, and then she essentially broke it off because of her selfishness, her selfish desires to go first, her selfish desires not to talk to her sister, her selfish desires to break up with him without conveying anything, her selfish desire to break up with him again with not consulting her sister. Like, Ryumi's a bombshell of a B word. Like, but regardless, he loves her, and that's a big struggle bus because he's in a relationship, quote unquote, verbal relationship with Naori. So that's like a whole ball game, so and they maybe, I don't know if they took it all the way yet. I don't think the anime showed us or covered that, but they kissed, they've at least consummated their relationship in a way. So now I'm just very interested to see, okay, how is Naori gonna she's gonna go one of two avenues. She's gonna go all out with saying, I need to make June and me a reality, and she's gonna put all her effort into there, or she's gonna go the other way and support her sister and understand that June, he may have had, his first crush may have been her, and she's in love with him, but he may not be in love with her, and she needs to support him. So she's going to go one of two ways, and I'm very, very interested to see on how it's going to go. Also, I will say, too, this episode had amazing animation. As Ryumi was playing basketball, the animation was really good. The moment that Ryumi and June shared in the room where they almost crossed the line once again was really good. The moment in the classroom, where they were going crazy was pretty good. When June and his best friend went to his house and he had that moment with his hentai magazine or book or whatever, like he was like, like it was just so good and so well animated, and I laughed this episode, and I was just really, really entertained. So honestly, 9 out of 10. Like, this episode was like really great, like really, really good. And I can't overstate enough. Like, when the episode ended, it got me, and I was like, holy crap, it got me. So like, this episode was like, I don't know, maybe I'm in a good mood or whatever, but like, this episode felt like it was really great. So I loved every moment. So anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm all open. These are just my feelings. Let me know your guys' in the comments. I understand that just because we have a week of an episode that I really enjoyed, the alternate of that may be true for others. So if you did enjoy this week, let me know why. How are you feeling about the events that occurred? And just let me know all your feelings in the comments down below. I'm always interested to see your guys' thoughts. Sometimes we align and sometimes we don't. And I'm always interested to see on both of those takes. When I hit the comments, I always love seeing the opposite for folks, and then the ones who align as well. So I'll see you guys in the comments, and I'll see you next episode. Peace.